Hey everyone! If you enjoyed this video, the full version is available on Patreon. I'll be uploading all my content there going forward. It's currently free, but in the future I'll add a small monthly fee to support the channel. Comment or message me what price feels fair for you. Let's make it comfortable for both sides.
Hey everyone! If you enjoyed this video, the full version is available on Patreon. I'll be uploading all my content there going forward. It's currently free, but in the future I'll add a small monthly fee to support the channel. Comment or message me what price feels fair for you. Let's make it comfortable for both sides. Patreon link in description.
Chapter 1. Tianhe City. The sky was clear and clean. That's all the money we have left. Lin Yan sighed helplessly and took out a crumpled coin from his pocket. Those deep blue eyes were like pure sapphires, and those deep blue hairs danced in the wind. Sunlight poured down, enveloping her tall, slender, yet perfectly proportioned figure. Her exquisitely sculpted face and her skin, which was even whiter than a girl's, attracted the attention of many young girls. That otherworldly good looks always attract attention. What a nice view! What a refined young man! My God, this is even more stunning than an angel. Lin Yan ignored his admirers. Could good looks put food on the table? Able. But Lin Yan scoffed at it. 15 years ago, Lin Yan, who was still an infant, transmigrated to this world. He was adopted by a childless couple, but unfortunately, the couple died in a terrible car accident 5 years ago, and since then Lin Yan has been making a living on his own. Will this amount of money last until I find my next job? Lin Yan squinted his eyes. Today happens to be his 15th birthday. I can't afford a birthday cake, but I can still have a bowl of noodles at home. With a sigh, Lin Yan walked forward. Ding! The multiverse sign-in system is activating. Activation successful. Ding! The world of Super God Academy has been detected. World data analysis in progress. A new sign-in task has been issued. Ding! Please arrive at Zitang Road, Tianhe City to check in. You will receive a generous reward from the system. A series of system notifications rang in Lin Yan's mind, and a clearly lit coordinate area appeared in his mind, prompting him to sign in. Hiss! Lin Yan gasped. The system is finally activated. Lin Yan, still an infant, transmigrated to Tianhe City. He possessed memories of his past life, and after his adoptive parents passed away, he barely managed to make a living by relying on his memories. I thought I would live my whole life in a daze. Unexpectedly, I got access to the check-in system. Hope rekindled in Lin Yan's heart, and his mind was filled with turbulent emotions. For a young man, nothing could excite him more than a system. A youthful spirit, lofty aspirations. He, Lin Yan, will no longer be bullied. From now on, he will rise up. Tianhe City, Zitang Road. Lin Yan happened to be nearby. He had just finished a new interview with an older woman who had a good figure, and she hinted to Lin Yan how to deliberately please her. Advertisement. The interview ended badly. It should be around here. The virtual coordinates in Lin Yan's field of vision gradually approached. However, Tianhe City has been quite unsettled lately, especially near the sky black hole, where many strange and supernatural events have occurred. As a result, the area has even become desolate. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have successfully arrived at the check-in location. Check-in will now begin. Check-in time is 10 minutes. Quitting midway will be considered a failed check-in. The system's voice sounded again. Lin Yan breathed a sigh of relief. After all, he was still a young man at heart. Although Lin Yan has memories of his past life, he is more composed than other people his age. But he still couldn't contain his excitement. The system, which is more than a decade overdue, has finally arrived. A countdown timer started appearing on the system interface. Countdown, 9 seconds. 8 seconds left. At this time, the air raid siren suddenly sounded, and the few remaining citizens on the street fled in panic. Several unidentified terrorists appeared in the dark sky in the distance, descended upon Juxia city, and attacked passing citizens. He was wearing a set of silver metal armor. He possesses immense strength. Ha ha ha. As the vanguard of Lord Devouring King, we weak humans will show you the power of us doughty. Run! Run away as fast as you can. Their weapons were locked onto every fleeing citizen. However, Lin Yan stood motionless by the roadside, with the menacing terrorists approaching not far from him. There's still one who didn't run away. He must be so scared his legs went weak. A doughty soldier discovered Lin Yan. The weapon was aimed at him. 3 seconds left. 2 seconds left. Countdown, 1 second. A bullet spun and tore through the air, whistling as it shot out. You could even see the muzzle flash and the slightly distorted air trails. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have successfully checked in. Mission reward, activate One Punch Man abilities. Chapter 2. A warm current instantly flowed into Lin Yan's limbs and bones. Lin Yan could even feel the cracking sounds coming from his joints. His whole body was filled with boundless power, as if every cell was bursting with energy. That exhilarating feeling. The blue light made Lin Yan's clear blue eyes even bluer. He slightly shifted his body, and a bullet with a blue tail fin grazed past his face. Boom! The bullet exploded in the distance. The arrogant laughter of the several imposing doughty warriors in silver armor abruptly stopped, and one of the silver-armored doughty warriors was slightly taken aback. This is a weapon with aerospace-grade technology. It should be able to kill a mere pre-nuclear civilization like Earthlings with a single shot. Shit! What the hell is this? Shoot! Shoot! Kill him! The area around Lin Yan was instantly engulfed in a frenzy of explosions, and even those who were still fleeing were shocked by what they saw. Such a dense barrage of firepower. After the smoke clears, you will surely see a mangled corpse. Pa! They waste bullets even when dealing with ants like Earthlings. However, Lin Yan appeared in the opposite direction. He felt something strange in the instant he was about to be shot. His body reacted involuntarily, and he even saw the bullet glide past his cheek in slow motion. No! His speed has increased. In the instant that the barrage of firepower rained down, Lin Yan had already made his escape. Where did you monsters come from? You start shooting at the drop of a hat. This is not something civilized people should do. One of the 3 doughty soldiers was quite pleased with himself. He turned around, but his eyes were wide open. Attack! That guy's not dead. Damn it! How could the human body possibly withstand the attack of our great doughty's weapons? Take him down! The 3 doughty warriors aimed their weapons at Lin Yan and unleashed another barrage of fire, with one of them even contacting air support. The advance team requests support. They have encountered a life form with a physical constitution stronger than humans on Earth. Several strangely shaped aircraft suddenly flew out from the dark void in the distant sky, their azure tail flames and roaring sounds that could be heard hundreds of miles away. Their only target was Lin Yan. Lin Yan's image appeared on the aircraft's screen. Target detected. Analyze the target. Unable to resolve. This system is only for analyzing pre-nuclear civilization Earth humans. Analysis beyond its scope is not applicable. Advertisement. He's just a child from Earth, yet he dares to ask for help. Wait, what does unable to parse mean? Isn't this perfect? Lord Howling King will be very happy to kidnap this person. As these scenes unfolded, Lin Yan's brain also received a description of Saitama's abilities in One Punch Man. Possesses combat abilities that transcend species boundaries. He was so powerful that almost every living thing on Earth was powerless to withstand his punch. What exactly does this mean? Lin Yan was excited. The Doughty's flying vehicle instantly arrived above Lin Yan, and all the weapons were immediately aimed at him. In an instant, he felt a force concentrated in his fist. He bent his knees slightly, as if he were doing warm-up exercises. What is that? Are humans paralyzed with fear? He crouched down and jumped, his body instantly breaking the sound barrier and emitting a buzzing sound. The gluttonous smile froze on his face. Boom! The terrifying force instantly shattered the Dowdy's aircraft, as if it had been hit head-on, exploding in mid-air with astonishing flames. The clouds in the sky twisted into a huge circular cavity. In the vision of the three Dowdy warriors inside the aircraft, there was a fist that gradually grew larger, resembling a small mountain. Shocking and terrifying. Magnificent. The three Dowdy warriors on the ground let out pig-like screams and threw away their armor and weapons, but their fate was simply to dissipate and disappear into the air. The force of the punch passed by, and the dust settled. A semicircular ravine stretched into the distance, its end invisible, with all the buildings along its path shattered and the ground still emitting scorching blue smoke resembling lava. Police sirens sounded in the distance. Kylin, vehicle number 143, an emergency has occurred on Zitang Road in Tianhe City. Unidentified terrorists are attacking the public. Please evacuate the public immediately and combat the terrorists. The motorcycle tires screeched as they rubbed against the ground, and then executed a clean drift. Stopped at the roadside. The tight-fitting uniform accentuated her perfect curves, and after removing her helmet, her long, straight, black hair, as smooth as night, was tied in a ponytail. She was a woman with a delicate face, an absolute campus beauty. Qilin saw the flying machine descending from the sky from a distance, but after a gust of air, the flying machine disappeared without a trace. The streets were deserted. Her brows furrowed even deeper, the deep furrows before her eyes so menacing, like a grotesque wound torn open in the earth. Chapter 3. Suddenly, Qilin's expression changed, and her beautiful eyes were fixed on a figure in the distance. There's no one there. Hello, I'm Police Officer Kylin. The moment Lin Yan turned around, she saw a young, innocent face. He was still a child. Qilin's heart softened, she must have been frightened by the unknown terrorist. Child, are you all right? Fine. Lin Yan got up and left. As soon as he stood up, Qilin realized that the boy in front of her was a bit taller than her. His slender back immediately stirred a feeling of pity in her. Especially her sapphire-like eyes, as calm and profound as the distant starry sky. Qilin rushed over in one stride. Wait a moment. Is there something you need? Lin Yan's voice was cold and calm. There was a scratch on his handsome, fair face, and he looked as if he were isolated from the world. Qilin's heart skipped a beat. She had never seen any child with such despair, no, such calm eyes. Those eyes touched the deepest, softest part of Qilin's heart. Qilin smiled. Of course the policewoman has something to discuss with you. You were a witness to the terrorists, and she needs to take you back to cooperate with some investigations. Advertisement. Without saying a word, she took Lin Yan's hand. She took out a handkerchief and wiped the scratches off Lin Yan's cheek. I'll take you home in a bit. Tianhe City, Operations Command Center. A woman dressed in a dark red military uniform, with a heroic and slender figure, beautiful face, and calm demeanor, spoke. She is Leanfang, the Chief of Staff of the Command Center. At 8:45 am yesterday, a silent aircraft entered Tianhe City. After testing, we detected two different forms of life fluctuations, one of which came from the Dowdy group. The vanguard of the Dowdy has arrived on Earth, indicating that they will take further action. The middle-aged man, dressed in a black military uniform with a resolute face, spoke in a steady voice. General Dokeo. He is a descendant of the Dino civilization and also the initiator of the God-making project. In the 137 years since the birth of the universe, the Divine River has long since laid out a star network to protect all the hard-won intelligent life. Light and darkness are at war. Justice and evil are at war. Life and death are also at war. The most urgent task is for the dead to challenge the living, for the Styx to pour into the Milky Way, and for Earth to become the battlefield of interstellar war. Perhaps it is coming soon, but we must face it bravely. War is coming. The Earth needs a super army. General Dokeo suggested launching Project Black Wall, and the Black Armor Company of this project was named Super Soldier Company. Everyone looked solemn. Leanfang pointed to another fluctuation on the big screen and said, "Actually, what I care about most is another kind of life fluctuation. We cannot detect its trajectory. Perhaps it is just a kind of ubiquitous energy or consciousness, which is beyond our understanding." Chapter 4. Okay, thank you for your cooperation in the investigation. Qilin carefully put away the transcript. In truth, she was just making an excuse. Lin Yan's aloof and indifferent gaze aroused her protective instincts. Or perhaps it's the radiance of motherhood. Regardless, Qilin, as a police officer, could not remain indifferent to such a teenager. Throughout the entire questioning process, Lin Yan remained completely silent. Qilin smiled like an older sister, talking as she walked out, and handed Lin Yan a safety helmet. "Okay, I'll take you home. Where do you live? Or could you tell me your parents' contact information?" "What's wrong?" Qilin turned around and saw Lin Yan's cold, azure eyes. "I have no home," Lin Yan said casually. "This restaurant looks pretty good." Qilin performed a drift to bring the motorcycle to a stop, and in front of her was a small restaurant that was open for business. "Hello, this is the menu." She had a chubby face, bright and sparkling eyes, and most notably, silver hair. "Rui Meng Meng is a waitress at this restaurant." "Xiao Yan, order whatever you want to eat, it's on me." Qilin handed the menu to Lin Yan across from her with a cheerful smile, but his cold eyes didn't even look at her before he took the menu back. Lin Yan uttered a single word. "Noodle. How about ramen?" Qilin handed the menu to the waitress Rui Meng Meng and ordered a few more side dishes. The table of home-style dishes was simple but still quite plentiful, yet Lin Yan ate his bowl of beef noodles at a leisurely pace. "Xiao Yan, don't just eat noodles. Children your age need to supplement their nutrition." Qilin's first impression of Lin Yan's youthful face was that he was no more than 13 years old, but during the inquiry, she learned that he was already 15. However, 15 years old is still the age of a child. Moreover, Lin Yan was an orphan since childhood and was adopted by foster parents. The fact that his foster parents died in a car accident 5 years ago also made Qilin feel compassion. 15, is today your birthday?" Qilin's mind flashed through the inquiry records, and she clearly remembered that today was recorded in the date of birth column. Lin Yan finally responded. "Eat quickly, we're going somewhere with your sister in a bit." Qilin smiled and said mysteriously. "Tianfu Garden, West District, Tianhe City." It's an ordinary 2-bedroom apartment, decorated in the style of an old residential building, but the furnishings give off a warm, sunny feeling. Whether it's the small flowers on the windowsill or the mug on the table. Advertisement. "Those are slippers, please change them." As Qilin spoke, she grabbed something and ran into the kitchen. A short while later, she came out carrying a small birthday cake. "Happy birthday to you." "Happy birthday to you," she sang as she placed the birthday cake on the table. The cake was a fruit and cream cake that Qilin and Lin Yan bought together from a small cake shop. A number 15 candle was placed on the birthday cake, with a small cluster of flames burning. "Sit down." Qilin pulled Lin Yan to sit down at the dining table. Then he put the birthday hat on his head, looked him over with satisfaction, and indeed it was a face so exquisite that one could not look away. "Make a wish, Xiao Yan." Lin Yan looked at the birthday cake, and the small cluster of flickering flames was reflected in his blue eyes. But then he shook his head. Then let me make a wish for you. I hope Lin Yan will always be happy and joyful. Let's blow out the candles. Together. Qilin felt another pang of heartache when she saw Lin Yan's unresponsive expression. Having lost her adoptive parents at the age of 10, she must have experienced a lot of human kindness and hardship while living a lonely and miserable life. The candle was blown out. Qilin cut a piece of cake with the most fruit for Lin Yan, and then, as if she had made up her mind, looked at the boy in front of her with a determined gaze. Xiao Yan, from now on, I, Qilin, will be your older sister and your family. Lin Yan's body twitched slightly. Since the age of 10, he has been homeless. Relying solely on his memories from his previous life, he struggles to make a living in this cruel world, but is often exploited and bullied. I've been constantly being laid off and looking for work. This world is realistic, it won't pity you just because you're a child. Lin Yan was already used to it. This Qilin is quite interesting, it seems her maternal instincts have been awakened, but it's just a passing fancy. Lin Yan's lips curled up, forming a smile. That smile, however, was so cold. Qilin's heart clenched suddenly. She stood up abruptly and said excitedly. Xiao Yan, although my place is very ordinary and the conditions are average, but... Move in here. From now on, your sister will live with you. We siblings will depend on each other and continue to live in this world. A moment of impulse? Maybe. Qilin didn't care about any of that, she couldn't just leave the boy in front of her alone. The smile on Lin Yan's lips gradually faded, and he finally raised his head to look at Qilin. This was the first time he had looked at Qilin directly. At this moment, a knock came at the door. Excuse me, is Comrade Qilin home? Chapter 5. I'll go open the door. Qilin's expression was stern, all the tenderness in her eyes vanished, and her movements were graceful and sharp. People who visit at this time. Who could it be? Qilin inwardly grumbled. The door was ajar, but the bolt was not opened. Standing in the doorway were two men in suits, both wearing black sunglasses. One of them had his hair slicked back. Excuse me, are you Comrade Qilin? Another man with a buzz cut asked. Hello, we're from the Super God Academy, these are our identifications. My name is Ge Xiaolun, and this is Zhao Xin. We're here under orders from General Tokyo, may we go in and talk? Ge Xiaolun gave a simple, honest smile. She didn't dare to look at Qilin. Qilin glanced at Ge Xiaolun. Having received formal police academy education, she instantly realized that the cowardly demeanor of the person in front of her was not an act. There is no danger. Please come in. Please sit down. As soon as Ge Xiaolun entered the room, he saw a pair of blue eyes. For a moment, everything around him seemed to turn into a pitch-black void, and all that remained in front of him were those eyes. What a shock that must have been! He paused. Xiaolun. Zhao Xin called out, and Ge Xiaolun finally snapped out of his daze. That's my younger brother, Xiao Yan. Qilin said with a smile. Her military bearing was imbued with a touch of gentleness, and coupled with Qilin's beauty, it was truly captivating. It was only then that Ge Xiaolun noticed that Lin Yan was such a young boy. Hello. Sister, what do they want with you? Lin Yan's eyes returned to normal, and the aura that had been like a sword cleaving the heavens gradually dimmed. He was just an ordinary young man, only his appearance was truly one in a million. And that innate temperament. Like a prince in a fairy tale, every move, every smile, is so elegant and gentlemanly. A hint of surprise flashed in Qilin's eyes. Lin Yan smiled. I'll go pour the tea. Ge Xiaolun coughed a few times, seemingly about to get down to business. Advertisement. Ahem, I apologize for the intrusion, I've come on behalf of the Super God Academy to invite you to join us. We believe that with your dedication as a police officer, you will surely become a super warrior protecting the country and its people. Kylan is not a descendant of the Dino civilization. It was merely a descendant of an ordinary Shenhe person when the Shenhe civilization was destroyed. His genes were not advanced, and he only remained at the Shenhe generation. In the original series, Qilin was shot by the doughty warrior, which opened a hole in her body, but she miraculously survived, attracting the attention of the Super God Academy. Here, however, Qilin's background has made her a member of the list of inheritors of the Divine River Super Gene System. Super God Academy? I only have one question, can I go home every day? I'm sorry, we have a full-time boarding system. Oh, then I'll refuse. Qilin said. As a police officer, I can also protect my country and serve the people. What's more, I have a younger brother who is only 15 years old. Yes, I understand your concerns. Ji Xiaolun smiled sheepishly, he had never been good at dealing with beautiful women. He glanced at Lin Yan, who was walking out of the kitchen. This kid is really lucky. There is such a beautiful and gentle older sister. Please have some tea. Lin Yan handed 2 cups of tea to Ji Xiaolun and Zhao Xian. His gaze swept over Ji Xiaolun and Zhao Xian, and their information was immediately clear. Ji Xiaolun, whose genetic type is galaxy power that cuts through fear, is one of the 3 major god-making projects, but for now he is just an ordinary guy. Zhao Xian. These 2 people weren't important. Ever since Lin Yan activated the sign-in system, information about this world had been flashing through his mind, and he noticed General Dokeo. The idea that a villain who instigated the Dino War could suddenly become a loyal defender of Earth seems utterly absurd. Even if a hungry wolf has its fangs removed, it is still not a loyal dog. What is Dokeo's purpose? However, his purpose in forming the Super Soldier Corps is now clear. He wants an elite force capable of resisting foreign invasion. As a descendant of the Shenhe people, Qilin's body could at most withstand a few bullets. They can die too. However, now that Lin Yan has a sign-in system, he will only get stronger and stronger. Although he was picked up, this is the first time someone has been so kind to him. Besides, having more older sisters isn't a bad thing. He wouldn't let Qilin be merely a product of the Divine River gene. Lin Yan looked at Qilin with a very obedient smile. He looks like a sensible younger brother. Sister, I'm all grown up now, you don't need to worry about me, I can take care of myself. Ji Xiaolun felt somewhat ashamed. When he was invited, he was so opportunistic and only thought about his own interests, while the young man in front of him was far more enlightened than him. Please complete the daily check-in task by interacting with Du Qianggui within the Super God Academy within 1 week. A generous reward will be given upon completion. Chapter 6. The system's voice stirred a flicker of excitement in Lin Yan's heart. The last one was Saitama from One Punch Man. I wonder what it will be this time. Lin Yan was somewhat expectant. Ji Xiaolun scratched his head and echoed. That's right, that's right. This young man has great potential, he's destined for greatness. Qilin smiled, she certainly knew how to flatter. It's not impossible for me to go, but I want to bring my younger brother with me. As for the room, you have to arrange a standard 2-bedroom, 1 living room, 1 kitchen, and 1 bathroom room. Anything less than that is not acceptable. Qilin's tone was resolute. She felt sorry for Lin Yan from the bottom of her heart, whether it was his youthful face, his overly indifferent eyes, or the darkness hidden in his eyes. What's more, he had just solemnly acknowledged his younger brother, and then abandoned him. She, Kylan, couldn't do such a thing. Just a day ago, she was a police officer in Tianhe City, full of enthusiasm to protect her country, but now she is a big sister. She wants to be a good older sister. The dorms require us to submit an application, as for your condition. Ji Xiaolun's smile looked more like a grimace. Project Black Wall is a state secret, directly ordered by the highest leader. Super God Academy is also classified as a top-secret unit, and only the participants in the project know its specific location information. What? Is that not allowed? Qilin had no room for negotiation. We'll have to ask for instructions. Ge Xiaolun stood up with a troubled expression, walked to the corner of the living room, dialed a phone, and humbly reported the situation. Good. Yes, 15 years old. Understood, I will definitely complete the mission. I have already consulted with my superiors, and it's no problem. I will definitely arrange everything for you. As for Lin Yan, he can also attend a nearby school, and the tuition will be covered by the Super God Academy. In addition to these, there is also a subsidy of 20,000 yuan. How about reporting to the Super God Academy in a week? A special car will be sent to pick you up. Ge Xiaolun didn't expect Du Qianggui to agree so readily. Back then, Du Qianggui always belittled him and never gave him a second glance. Good. Qilin finally smiled. As soon as Ge Xiaolun stepped out of that house, he breathed a long sigh of relief and vowed that as a senior, he would certainly live up to the invitation. In the end, he finally understood. Whether the beautiful young policewoman Kylan agreed or not depended entirely on that handsome young man. What super soldier? What kind of subsidy? None of them are as important as my younger brother. Xiao Yan, your sister will never leave you. She will stay with you until you grow up and make your own way in the world. I believe you are excellent and will become even more excellent one day. But for now, let your older sister take care of you. Qilin patted Lin Yan on the shoulder. It was her first time being an older sister, but she didn't feel any awkwardness towards Lin Yan at all. Instead, she felt like he was family who had been together for over a decade. Advertisement. Lin Yan nodded. Qilin gently hugged Lin Yan, stroking his back, her eyes filled with boundless love and care. Go take a shower, and go back to your place tomorrow to move your luggage. She said it quite naturally. Her tone was exactly like that of a gentle older sister. By the way, you can stay in my room tonight. I'll stay in the guest room, the bedding and bed are all ready. You can stay in my bedroom after you move out tomorrow. As Qilin spoke, she went into the bedroom and rummaged through the closet to find a new bath towel. This bath towel is brand new and hasn't been opened yet. What's wrong? She looked into Lin Yan's deep blue eyes. Suddenly it dawned on me. I laughed. It's all right, you can stay in the big bedroom, since boys are more active. I'll stay in the smaller bedroom, that's settled. Okay, go take a shower. Qilin handed Lin Yan a bath towel, pushed him by the back, and led him into the bathroom. He also gave me a word of advice. Close the window. This scene would be perfectly normal between ordinary siblings, but Lin Yan was, after all, a younger brother he had only taken in for less than a day. Warm water poured over his head. Lin Yan lifted his azure bangs to reveal his smooth forehead, and clear water streamed down his delicate face. That youthful face seemed to have gained a touch of maturity. In addition to being delicate and pretty, her facial features have become more angular. As Qilin emerged from the bathroom, she was watching TV, which was playing videos uploaded online by witnesses. Damn it, I saw it when I was running away, it must be aliens, the end of the world is really coming. That thing just exploded with a bang. If it was an alien, who told it to blow it up? Did it just blow itself up for fun? I think I saw a child at the scene. You've seen science fiction movies, haven't you? I think it's just a rumor. Many people witnessed this event and firmly believe that aliens are about to invade Earth, while others think it's just alarmist talk. You should go to sleep early too, Xiao Yan. Qilin turned around and saw Lin Yan shirtless, holding his clothes in his hand, which seemed to be wet. Her fair skin was even more delicate than hers. She couldn't help but blush. I'll go find you a change of clothes. I remember there was a big t-shirt. Qilin rummaged through the closet and found a white t-shirt with the Yitong logo printed on it. Found it. She turned around and saw that Lin Yan was already asleep, covered with a blanket. Qilin smiled with relief. She bent down and carefully examined her new little brother's sleeping face, then patted his head. Good night. Chapter 7. According to the latest report from our reporter, unidentified flying objects have reappeared in Tianhe City. They are wearing silver metal armor and call themselves the Doughty Legion. General Leanfang of the Tianhe City Command stated that we have the absolute capability to protect the people's property and lives. Currently, the Doughty Legion that invaded Tianhe City has been eliminated. The television was playing the news, and the aroma of food wafted from the kitchen. The sky was clear and blue. Sunlight streamed in through the window. Lin Yan got up and stretched. System detection. Host's physical constitution activation rate is 20%. One Punch Man's activation rate is 20%. A week has passed since the first invasion of Earth by the Doughty Legion. Lin Yan was already familiar with every corner of this house. He had studied the system a week ago and had only activated 10% of it when he destroyed one of Doughty's flying machines with a single punch. He analyzed that the reason might be due to his own physical condition. After all, Lin Yan was just an ordinary human being, whose genes were not even as good as those of the first generation of the Divine River. Lin Yan has been exercising every day for the past week. 100 push UPS, 100 sit UPS, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. Certainly. Besides, they'll also shoot down an alien spaceship. Only a 10% increase. Lin Yan walked out of the bedroom and came to the kitchen door. Sis, let me help you. Could you please get me the bowl and chopsticks? Even dressed in loungewear and an apron, Qilin's graceful figure and the unparalleled military bearing she exuded were incredibly captivating. Lin Yan reached directly into the storage cabinet on the top and took out the bowls and chopsticks. Qilin looked up and saw the younger brother she had spent a week with, and smiled proudly. You've grown taller overnight? That's true. Kids your age really do grow taller and taller like bamboo shoots after a spring rain. The dining table is located in a corner of the living room. The television was still on. Qilin glanced at the news. There have been frequent alien invasions lately, but I'm going to report to the Super God Academy today, so it should be safer there. This is also one of the reasons why Qilin agreed to join Super God Academy. Her abilities are limited, she might not be able to protect Lin Yan should an alien invasion occur. I've packed your clothes and toiletries. Is there anything else you need to bring? Someone should be coming to pick us up soon. 1 hour later. Lin Yan changed out of his pajamas and put on the new clothes that Qilin had bought for him. However, Lin Yan managed to make his casual pants look like cropped pants. There was nothing he could do about it, his height had been increasing uncontrollably lately. Moreover, his originally slender figure has become more muscular. Beneath the t-shirt, the outline of muscles could be faintly seen. Qilin was still wearing the same uniform, and she nodded in satisfaction as she looked at Lin Yan. Advertisement. Let's go. Ge Xiaolun and Zhao Xian were waiting downstairs when a black SUV was parked there. You are the last student to register at the Super God Academy. Along the way, Ge Xiaolun talked on and on. The Academy's current instructors are called Jess. In addition to Ge Xiaolun and Zhao Xian, there is Du Qiangui, the daughter of Du Cao, Lina, who calls herself a goddess, Cheng Yaoan, a farmer, Rui Mengmeng, a waitress, and Lu Juang, a social hoodlum. We've arrived. Zhao Xian stopped the car. Before them lay a magnificent complex of buildings, the Super God Academy, the one classified as a highly secret institution. The lesser hermit lives in the wilderness, the greater hermit lives in the city. The location of the Super God Academy is in the center of Tianhe City, but Lin Yan sensed a protective layer that concealed the academy. This way, I'll take you to report. Zhao Xin eagerly led the way for Qilin and Lin Yan, while Ge Xiaolun looked at the luggage with an innocent expression, as if he were just a porter. If you need anything in the future, just let me know. I'm very familiar with this place. Having only been searching for a few days, Zhao Xin made a boastful claim without any restraint. The reporting area is just ahead. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have successfully arrived at the Super God Academy. Searching for Rose, a suspected target has been found. A lit coordinate area clearly appeared in his mind, prompting him to sign in. I don't want to go to the office, can I go for a walk instead? Lin Yan said. Qilin glanced at Zhao Xin. Zhao Xin had a smile on his face. Sure. Don't get lost, and contact your sister immediately if anything happens. Qilin smiled. Only when facing Yan would Qilin smile so gently. Du Qiangwei. The coordinates in Lin Yan's mind were gradually moving closer to his direction, saving him the trouble of searching. He casually sat down in a shady spot. The steady, rhythmic sound of military boots pounding the ground. With long, wine-red hair and a black, form-fitting uniform, he could be rated 9 out of 10 in terms of both his figure and his face, but his handsome face was as cold as ice. A child? Lost. Rose said coldly. But it's impossible for someone to get lost and end up here. Who are you? A law-abiding citizen. Lin Yan said. A glint of light flickered in his deep blue eyes, and compared to his previous delicate appearance, this young man now possessed a new kind of masculine charm. Du Qiangwei remained unmoved and moved even closer. Who are you? Chapter 8. Who are you? Show me your ID. Du Qiangwei's sharp gaze towards Lin Yan remained undiminished, she truly was worlds apart from ordinary girls. My name is Lin Yan, I am 15 years old, a minor, and I have not applied for an ID card. Lin Yan shrugged. Du Qiangwei exuded righteousness as she paced back and forth, her gaze sweeping over Lin Yan. Although her woman's intuition told her that this 15-year-old boy, Lin Yan, was definitely not simple. However, she is also a confident woman. He raised his chin slightly. A kid your age should be in school, not wandering around in places like this. That's the way the academy gates are, get out of here. I'm tired. Lin Yan sat down lazily. He had grown taller by more than a head, and his physique had become much more robust. But the air about him, and his current demeanor, clearly belonged to a reckless and unruly teenager. Do you know where this place is? Rose's words were sharp. She didn't want to be so aggressive towards a child, but the Super God Academy was a secret institution and not open to the public. If you were a little ruthless, she could have simply handed this unruly boy over to the higher UPS to deal with. Super God Academy. Lin Yan spoke in a calm, even somewhat casual tone. The God-making project. Tokyo. Rise. Super Gene Warriors. Galactic Force. Shall I continue? How do you know all this? Rose's eyes sharpened, and she became wary. She underestimated the boy in front of her. If this boy wasn't the child of some high-ranking person like her, there was only one possibility, he was an intruder. They are the enemy. I heard it from Ge Xiaolun, he chattered on and on the way. Do you know Ge Xiaolun? Rose's defensive stance relaxed slightly, and she looked at Lin Yan with confusion. Oh, the guy who went to pick up my sister. Are you Kylan's younger brother? She remembered that such a thing had indeed happened, but recently the number of dowdy invasions had increased, and she had been so busy that she had forgotten about it. I originally thought he was just an ordinary child. Unexpectedly. Rose couldn't detect the hidden energy within a human body, but she keenly observed that Lin Yan's physique was far superior to that of ordinary earthlings. She really wanted to try firing a shot if she could. However, reason told her that she couldn't. 9 seconds. 8 seconds. Advertisement. 2 seconds. 1 second. Ding. Congratulations, host, for completing your daily check-in. Reward, breakthrough in physical limits. A system notification sounded in my mind. Breaking through the physical limits of physical constitution. Moment. System detection. Host's physical constitution activation rate is 100%. One Punch Man bloodline activation is 100%. The system notification ended. Lin Yan felt his limbs and bones were filled with power, as if a warm current was flowing through every corner of his body, and even his body was changing. Muscles bulged beneath the thin t-shirt. If Lin Yan was previously a cheat-like individual with a physique slightly above that of an average person, then now his body has reached the limits of biological endurance. Ding! The host's body has broken through the physical limits of physical constitution, and has been granted a special ability, Mind Network. A surge of warmth gathered in my heart. Suddenly, a vast universe appeared before my eyes, with stars shifting and constellations moving, full of endless mysteries. The calmer Lin Yan's mind became, the more he could feel a powerful force gathering within his body. When you are calm and focused, his vision gradually returned, from the Milky Way to the solar system and then to Earth, and back to Daxia and Tianhe City. Finally, there's an overview of the entire Super God Academy. I'll be going now, nothing else. Remember not to wander around. Rose, wearing military boots, strode away. Lin Yan felt a slight ripple in his heart, this ability was indeed quite impressive. Buzz. Air vibration. A building in the Super God Academy. Principal's office. A woman in a fitted red uniform with shoulder-length short hair sat cross-legged in a chair, exuding maturity, elegance, and feminine charm. Teacher Miss is a popular goddess in the academy. She suddenly turned pale and sat up abruptly. There are fluctuations from an unidentified organism, life fluctuations similar to those provided by General Leanfang. As he spoke, Miss Teacher had already rushed out. The bald Rise, with his purple skin and numerous strange rune tattoos, narrowed his eyes slightly. Ding! You have a random task. You can choose whether to accept it or not. There is no penalty for abandoning it. Please contact Miss Teacher within 10 minutes, leaving her 10-meter radius is a violation. A special gift pack will be awarded upon successful completion of the sign-in. System notification sound. Contact, isn't that the simplest task? Lin Yan even wanted to take a nap. However, he also sensed the approaching energy. Mrs. Information was unknown, and no one knew her abilities. That's interesting. Chapter 9. A tall, slender figure strode out of the building, the sound of her leather boots abruptly ceasing. That unusual life fluctuation. Miss slowed down. Her mental strength is comparable to that of a third-generation super soldier, and she knows everything about the Super God Academy. But this time, an unprecedented shock. Da-da-da. The footsteps were steady and rhythmic. Teacher MIS carefully sensed the surrounding environment and atmosphere, but the unusual life fluctuations disappeared. We must find them. Miss Teacher narrowed her beautiful eyes slightly. Her duty has always been to protect the academy and absolutely not allow any unknown forces to infiltrate its interior. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have successfully arrived at the Super God Academy. Search Miss. Suspected target found. A lit coordinate area clearly appeared in his mind, prompting him to sign in. The coordinates in his mind were gradually moving closer to his direction. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have successfully arrived at the check-in location. Check-in will now begin. Check-in time is 10 minutes. Quitting midway will be considered a failed check-in. Oh! It was different from what Lin Yan had expected. Miss did not stop to question Lin Yan, but simply ignored him. Is this an image of spiritual power? A powerful mental force is enough to destroy another mental force, while a weaker mental force will choose to protect itself by means of escape. Target is about to leave the 10-meter range, check-in is about to fail. Lin Yan rushed over in one stride. Hello. Miss reacted very quickly, responding in the shortest amount of time, turning around with a look of horror in her eyes. With her mental strength, she actually overlooked a living person. Miss was already on guard. The newly joined Qilin's younger brother, Lin Yan, right? After a moment of surprise, Miss's expression returned to normal, her pretty face displaying a gentle, mature smile, and her voice as melodious as a nightingale's song. Lin Yan responded. His azure eyes held a half-smile, a hint of amusement in them. Miss had never seen such a boy before, his clear eyes sparkled with an unusual brilliance. They became even more suspicious of Lin Yan. A smile appeared on his lips. Isn't my sister amazing? Certainly. Mrs. words were clearly just a polite remark. Although she hadn't met Qilin yet, according to the information, Qilin's genes weren't high-end, only at the level of the Divine River Generation 1. While stronger than ordinary humans, they couldn't be considered outstanding. Advertisement. In contrast, consider the other people. Ge Xiaolun possesses the power of the Milky Way, while Lu Juang possesses the power to kill gods. Your sister has gone to register, and she should be in the principal's office soon. Miss was still very polite to Lin Yan. This woman exudes an aura as pure and elegant as a rare orchid in a secluded valley. Every smile and frown is so mature, composed, and gentle, yet she possesses a passion far surpassing that of a rose. By the way, have you seen anyone around here? I saw a woman. Lin Yan acted like a well-behaved little brother. Although he knew that Miss was looking for him, he deliberately tried to mislead her. What does it look like? Miss asked with a bright and cheerful expression. My sister seems very cold and doesn't seem to like me much. She even seems to suspect that I'm a suspicious person. Lin Yan smiled innocently. That smile was especially poignant on the handsome young man's face. Long burgundy hair, and wearing a uniform similar to yours. Miss smiled helplessly, she immediately guessed that the person was Rose. That's Du Qiangwei. She explained with a smile. Lieutenant Rose. The military and the Super God Academy have a jurisdictional relationship, and the academy is also under military-style management. Du Qiangwei is a true second-generation rich kid. Everyone in the Super God Academy knows that Du Qiangwei is the daughter of General Du Cao, and even the academy's administrator, teacher Miss, is somewhat wary of her. Having a father is better than anything else. Miss didn't want to continue talking about Du Qiangwei, so she changed the subject. Would you like to go to the office to rest for a bit? She didn't actually want to give up tracking the unknown life fluctuations, but she cared more about the boy in front of her, a judgment based on her mental strength comparable to that of a third-generation warrior. Apart from mental perception, Miss has further methods. That is direct contact. Let's go. Her slender fingers touched Lin Yan's shoulder intentionally or unintentionally. This was a kind of perception that allowed her to quickly read the other person's memories. But the instant her fingertips touched Lin Yan's shoulder, Mrs. Finger reflexively pulled back. The surroundings went completely dark in an instant. It was only a fleeting feeling, but it still brought Miss unparalleled shock. Her pretty face turned slightly pale. What exactly happened? How could such a thing happen? Miss, being experienced, reached a conclusion almost instantly. The source of that unknown life force was the boy in front of them. Lin Yan. Chapter 10. Let's go. Mrs. Smile was somewhat forced. She was struggling to cope with the situation on her own, something she had never encountered before. Perhaps Principal Rise has a solution. Xiao Yan. Her uniform perfectly complemented her dashing figure as she walked towards them from afar. Her demeanor and speech were both so free and easy. This kind of temperament is in no way inferior to Miss. Or perhaps one of them is a gardenia and the other is a red rose. Kylan, right. Miss Teacher. Qilin judged from the other person's clothes and appearance that this was Teacher Miss, the goddess teacher of Super God Academy. Seeing is believing, indeed. You're going to the principal's office, right, Kylan? Let's go together. Miss was very polite to Qilin, which was even a direct physical reaction. Was it really out of taboo against the boy in front of her? She smiled bitterly to herself. Good. Qilin had no reason to refuse. The three of them went to the principal's office. Rise casually asked some unimportant questions, and after exchanging glances with MIIS, he directly shifted the topic to Lin Yan. All students who join the Super God Academy will become super warriors who protect their country and safeguard their people. They are the pillars of the nation. Lin Yan, as a family member of a super soldier, should be treated with special consideration. He gently stroked the teacup, took a small sip, and kept his eyes fixed on Lin Yan. Although Mrs. Eye contact revealed that she was more interested in the little brat in front of her than Qilin, he still looked like a baby. If there's anything special. At most, he possesses the genes of the first generation of the Divine River, just like Qilin. Lin Yan had already noticed Rise's attention towards him. Yet he was somewhat unfocused. These were all expected. Rise is incredibly powerful, Lena is no match for him. Furthermore, as a guardian, he has protected Earth for thousands of years. In that case, Principal Rise, Miss, I hope the college can fulfill the conditions I proposed earlier. Qilin is not an assertive person. However, for Lin Yan's sake, she would not hesitate or back down, especially since those conditions had already been proposed before joining the Super God Academy. Nis was greatly surprised. Rise was also quite shocked. In their view, Qilin was merely a descendant of the Divine River lineage and had no right to negotiate. However, advertisement. Rise and Lin Yan locked eyes, but Rise felt an unprecedented sense of oppression, never expecting his power to be so formidable. Conditions? What conditions? Rise put down his teacup. He sat up straight. Miss was surprised by Principal Rise's sudden change in attitude. In their eyes, neither Qilin nor Lin Yan was really a child. Especially in Rise's eyes, he could even be described as a callow child. As an arcane mage, Rise knew what attitude to take. The boy's body contained boundless power, at least surpassing the power of the galaxy. This young man has a bright future ahead of him. Kylan, feel free to state your conditions. Principal Ritz seemed like a kind elder, but no one knew what a thrilling scene he had experienced, a collision of profound mental forces. First, the host must have a 2-bedroom, 1 living room, 1 kitchen, and 1 bathroom apartment, with one of the bedrooms being spacious enough. The kitchen must be fully equipped. I will personally prepare all 3 meals for Xiao Yan every day. Secondly, the training schedule should be flexible. In case I need to take care of Xiao Yan, I hope I can get back in time. We should try to avoid training at night. These are the conditions. Qilin breathed a sigh of relief, though she was still a little nervous. This is the first time they've presented such aggressive conditions. We hope the college can understand her difficulties. Lin Yan has suffered a lot over the years, and as her older sister, she will not let Lin Yan suffer even the slightest grievance again. However, Lin Yan understood. As the apparent highest authority of the Super God Academy, Rise would not easily compromise with a little girl, as that would break the Academy's rules. Only the strong can set the rules of this world. Lin Yan focused his mind and calmed his breath. He felt every cell in his body gradually filling up, and a surge of heat flowed through his limbs and bones. Surprisingly, in Rise and Mrs. field of vision, a god appeared, like a vast divine power standing between heaven and earth, exuding righteousness. A cold sweat broke out on Mrs. back. Her legs went weak, and she almost fell. Rise was also sweating profusely, realizing Mrs. abnormal state. He had thought Lin Yan was just a descendant of the Milky Way with super genes, but it seems he was really wrong. The young man in front of him was definitely beyond his expectations. In short, let's deal with the immediate problem first. Kylan also noticed Principal Rai's hesitant attitude. She had already made up her mind that if Principal Rise and Teacher Miss refused her, she would leave the Super God Academy with Lin Yan without hesitation. Become a super soldier? Lin Yan. The latter is more important. Qilin mustered her courage and asked again. Principal Rise, is there a problem? Chapter 11. I am a police officer, but before that, I was Lin Yan's older sister. Qilin smiled gently, gazing at Lin Yan. Moment. The suffocating sense of oppression vanished completely, and both Rise and Miss felt a great sense of relief, even as if they had survived a catastrophe. Lin Yan. This boy, who looks somewhat childish, will surely grow into a god of earth in the future. No. Rise pondered in his mind that this whole thing was completely unexpected. There was an even more terrifying possibility. Lin Yan's appearance and his meeting with Rise were all under the control of this young man. What Super God Academy, what god-making project, or even Dokeo, those gluttonous demons and gods are nothing more than pawns in his hands. Most people believe that the Shenhe civilization deployed a star network on Earth to protect the hard-won intelligent life. But how do we explain the continuation of ancient civilizations on Earth? According to the Mayan civilization, humanity has had 5 solar ages, the first 4 of which have already perished. They are: the first Sun Age was the Zhangdea civilization, a superpowered civilization, a 3-eyed race. The second Sun Age was the Mesopotamian civilization, a continuation of the Jaunda civilization by its survivors. It was a culinary civilization. The third Sun Age was the Mu civilization, a bioenergy civilization. It was a druidic civilization, a continuation of the previous civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, by the refugees. The fourth Sun Age was the Atlantis civilization, a light energy civilization that inherited from the previous civilization. Atlantis was founded by colonists from Orion. At the same time, there are no written records indicating the exact demise of these 4 civilizations, meaning that there may still be descendants of those from ancient eras. They may have sealed away their inner abilities. It has been integrated into human civilization. The moment they awakened was not only on Earth, but also in the Milky Way and other galaxies. Even the void. Everything will be under their control. However, at least Rise didn't sense any hostility from Lin Yan. The number of Dowdy invasions on Earth was increasing exponentially, and soon they would probably launch a large-scale invasion. The Super God Academy still needs to grow, and the only ones that can be considered as having combat power are the Dino civilization and their Dino number 3. General Dokeo was also a remnant of the Dino civilization. An interstellar war wiped the Dino civilization out of the universe. So much so. They were stretched thin by the Dowdy Legion, who couldn't even use dark energy. A civilization, or even a planet, can only thrive and multiply in the long river of the universe if it relies on the protection of ancient gods. After careful consideration, we respect Kylan's opinion. Rise used opinion instead of demand, which saved him some face. Miss noticed Rise's hint and said with a smile, "I'll send someone to take Kylan to her dormitory." Qilin looked at Lin Yan. "I hope Kylan won't mind if I chat with this young man a little longer." Rise regained his composure, appearing unmoved on the surface, but his heart was already surging with excitement. Advertisement. I also have some questions I'd like to discuss with Principal Rise. Lin Yan also said. Just then, someone came into the office, and Qilin nodded and left with that person. Rise's gaze remained fixed on Lin Yan, he could even feel his heart pounding faster. Few things could shake his resolve anymore. Lin Yan. Rise sensed Lin Yan's power and felt ashamed when he remembered thinking of him as just a callow child. But compared to the safety of the earth, those things are no longer important. If a young man with such powerful mental strength could break through biological limits and possess a robust physique, he could single-handedly sweep across the Milky Way galaxy. This is why the God-making project and the Super Gene Warriors Corps have become Earth's only hope. There is no body that is indestructible. Unless one evolves into a freakish figure like Karl, one cannot escape the limitations of life. Lin Yan, you're a smart man. Rise, will also speak frankly and without beating around the bush. Rise paused for a moment, his expression solemn, and then slowly spoke. Kylan's aptitude is good, she has the genes of the first generation of the Divine River, but that's all. We won't set a precedent for any super soldier, this time it's entirely because of you. Principal Ritz used the honorific you, formal. This is enough to prove how much he values it. It's really good that Principal Ritz knows how to respect the opinions of young people. Well done. This praise is perfectly acceptable if it's from an elder to a younger person, or from a superior to a subordinate. And their identities. Rise didn't seem to mind, and waved his hand with a smile, seemingly unconcerned. It's only natural, thank you for the compliment. Do you really not care? No. Strength is the power to speak. Since Principal Rise is being so open, I won't hold back either. I want my sister to become the most special person in the Super God Academy, including everyone else, including Sunlight Lena and Time Space Rose. A smile appeared on Lin Yan's handsome face. I have a favor to ask, I'd like to see your abilities. Rise said calmly. Let's fight our strongest warrior. At the same time, the countdown has begun. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have successfully completed the random sign-in task and received a special task reward. Chapter 12. Congratulations, host, you have obtained planetary level dark energy tier 10. A system voice sounded in Lin Yan's mind. In an instant, a mysterious energy surged into Lin Yan's limbs and bones, like a warm current flowing through every corner of his body, as if every cell was evolving at supersonic speed, and his strong heart was pounding violently. The surface is calm and peaceful. In reality, undercurrents are surging. The warm energy gradually intensified, turning into scorching magma, and its speed of movement changed from slow to frantic. The waves were raging, bravely forging ahead. Like sharp blades, they charged forward. A smile curled at the corner of Lin Yan's lips, a smile so powerful it seemed to eclipse all the beauty in the world. Bang! Lin Yan was like a god spreading his wings. Having broken through the second level, we entered a completely new world. The system also changed accordingly, adding a task panel. Lin Yan. Physique, the limits of biology. Soul, biological limits. Energy, planetary dark energy, 10th rank. Ability. Mental network, first order 5%. At the same time, Lin Yan also obtained relevant information. Dark energy is divided into planetary level, stellar level, galactic level, supergalactic level, and cosmic level. Each level is divided into 10 tiers. Ding Gai and the God of Time brought the scientific concept of the super god gene to all other civilizations in the universe. The two most important technological concepts are micro-wormhole transportation technology and dark energy/matter decryption technology. In the known universe, whether it is the angel of the galactic body, the demon or glutton of the beast body, or the triangular body with a highly developed brain, they all rely on dark energy for power. When Lin Yan used the mind network to explore the universe, he felt the vast universe filled with countless stars. There are countless energy points. The person closest to Lin Yan is Lena from the Super God Academy. That little girl who's a bit of a Chuyunibiu, middle school syndrome, and calls herself a goddess. The light of the sun. Lena. The goddess of the blazing sun. The Liang civilization is a civilization most skilled in star-driven processes and possesses immense destructive power. Advertisement. Lena, the light of the sun, possesses an indestructible divine body and the power to drive solar energy. Her greatest power is the continuous generation of stellar flares, accelerating stellar death and eventually leading to a supernova explosion. The ultimate significance of Project Sunlight lies not in destruction, but in rebirth. Light up the darkness and bring hope. Certainly. Lin Yan seemed to realize that the reason he gained the One Punch Man ability that broke through the physical limits at the beginning was to lay the foundation for later, otherwise his mortal body would have a hard time advancing to a divine body. The acquisition of planetary-level dark energy accelerated cellular evolution. To further evolve and upgrade, one must break through the constraints of the most basic genes, and Lin Yan believes that the ultimate ruler of the universe needs more than just energy. It also has a highly developed brain. When a divine river body evolves to the level of an angel, its brain development reaches 45%, enabling it to perceive 7 primary colors. Other life forms, such as dolphins, experience an intelligence explosion during evolution, reaching 43% in just 6,000 years, while angels take 100,000 years. The Big Bang of Intelligence. Lin Yan smiled inwardly. Without a breakthrough in genetics, he will never awaken. Take a deep breath. Lin Yan remained calm, while Rise, wanting to test his reaction, instantly connected to a clandestine communication channel, saying, "Who is it? I'd like to have a word with him." His imposing physique, his booming voice, and the heavy, powerful thud of his alloy combat boots made him seem like a war god from ancient times. Overcoming all obstacles, they were invincible. Whether it was the indestructible armor gleaming with black gold, or the enormous warhammer exuding an aura that could overwhelm mountains and rivers and destroy the world. His face was chiseled, and his eyes were as sharp as an eagle's. Lin Yan sensed a strong, bloody stench emanating from this person. Only someone who had been on the battlefield could exude such a chilling aura. But wild beasts. It was nothing more than a wild beast. Jace reporting for duty. His voice was deafening, and with his beast-like instincts, Jess's sharp eyes instantly fell on Lin Yan, who was sitting leisurely to the side. In an instant, a righteous flame collided with the boundless, dark obsidian. Darkness devours the flames. Silently. Jess's massive figure paused slightly, and his warhammer slammed into the ground. I was horrified. This person. Who is this boy? Chapter 13. This person. Instructor Jess. Jess's real name is Jegistan, the war god of the Divine River civilization. It is said that the real Jegistan was destroyed along with the Divine River civilization. When Jegistan served as a steward of the Divine River civilization, he would back up all his information every year through the Great Clock so that he could access it whenever needed in the future. Therefore, Jess, who was summoned to Earth, was just a clone of Jegistan in his youth, not the real Jegistan. His duty is to help the Super Soldier Corps grow into a qualified force and help Earth resist invasion. But what is the truth? No one knows. At this moment, Jess, the god of war, stood before Lin Yan. His imposing aura was nothing more than that of a brute with only physical strength in the eyes of Lin Yan. Humans' interest in large animals does not necessarily stem from fear of their power. Instructor Jess, this young man is the younger brother of the new trainee, Kylan. Rise introduced the situation with a smile, while Jess stared intently at Lin Yan. I am Jess, the strongest warrior of Super God Academy, without exception. Rise was also surprised by Jace's unusual behavior. Jace was an absolutely loyal subordinate, a warrior who obeyed absolute orders. How could he ignore him and focus on a boy instead? Could it be that Jess also sensed the powerful aura emanating from this young man, an aura that seemed to encompass the entire universe? Principal. Who is my opponent who summoned me here this time? Instructor Jess, your opponent is right beside you. Rise was very satisfied with Jace's appearance, This kind of aura was what a powerful warrior of Earth's defense should have, and he intended to intimidate Lin Yan. Jess looked at the boy. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to call him a greenhorn. This is a disgrace. The god of war is the one who protects the homeland and safeguards the earth from foreign invasion. He's not here to bully the child. Moreover, those slender arms and legs, and that face that's even prettier than General Ducko's daughter, Rose, absolutely cannot be hit. Instructor Jess, heroes have always emerged from among the young. Miss Gensdale. Even the usually gentle and kind Miss would reveal such a rare expression. Despite being in awe of Miss Jess, the Academy's head instructor, still held a degree of disdain for the young man. Rise understood that Jess's focus was no longer on Jess noticing Lin Yan's aura. This brute would never have been able to perceive such a subtle aura. However, besides charging into battle, a soldier's duty is to obey orders. Named after Jace, he will surely live up to the mission. The military salute was as firm and unyielding as a mountain. Advertisement. I wonder how this young man intends to compete. Jess said in a deep and serious voice. What are you best at, or what are you most confident about? Lin Yan asked. My warhammer can split the heavens and the earth, it is a divine weapon. Jess raised his warhammer high. If he used even a fraction of his strength, the building would likely collapse in the dust and be reduced to dust. His eyes were full of determination. But then Lin Yan said leisurely. Then let's have a contest of strength. Rise was slightly taken aback. He understood the strength of Lin Yan's mental power, but he did not expect that this young man would deliberately avoid his strengths and choose the opponent's advantages instead. A gentleman. A heart full of righteous indignation. He couldn't help but feel even more respect for Lin Yan. However, if Jess really smashed this young prodigy with one blow, wouldn't that be a loss for Super God Academy? No, it would be a loss for the entire Earth. Or perhaps it represents a loss to the galactic civilization. Do you really want to compare strength, Mr. Lin Yan? Even Miss couldn't help but widen her eyes. Principal Rise addressed a young man as Sir, even though he possessed great mental strength. Lin Yan smiled slightly. Let's get this over with quickly, my sister is waiting for me. All right, let's begin. Principal Ritz said. Although this office building is just an ordinary reinforced concrete structure, with Miss possessing powerful mental strength and Rise in charge, it is at least comparable to a unique gold defense. Miss also understood Rise's intentions. Obviously. Lin Yuan was far from his tone, he sat calmly in place, unmoved. Instructor Jess, this time the focus will still be on friendly sparring. Our Academy's policy is to give preferential treatment to the families of our students, especially the families of the Super Gene Warriors of the Super Soldier Company. Rise said with a smile. Yes, Principal. Jess looked at the young man in front of him. Although he didn't think Lin Yan had any strength, his frank attitude towards him didn't mean anything. They thought this was like a newborn calf not being afraid of a tiger. As an older person, it's time to give today's young people some real-world experience. Teach them some life lessons. I don't usually bully women and children, they all need to be protected. But since Principal Rise asked, I'll make an exception this time. Chapter 14. Young man, I'll control my strength, but in case I hurt you. Jess stretched his muscles, his entire body bulging like a hill, bursting with boundless power. His enormous fist, if it were to strike, would probably splatter the brains of any strong creature on Earth. As for the great hammer, Jess doesn't intend to use it, this divine weapon against foreign invaders is too powerful. Bring it on. Jess clenched his fists. His massive body was more agile than he had imagined, and his strength, capable of uprooting mountains and lifting cauldrons, was awe-inspiring. Call. A strong wind blew by. The powerful gale was like a sharp blade sweeping across the area. If it were an ordinary human on Earth, this gust of wind alone would have sent him flying, and considering the speed at which he hit the wall, he would have suffered at least broken bones and tendons. However, he stared in astonishment at Lin Yan, who remained as steady as a mountain. Hee, Coach Jess, remember this, never underestimate your opponents, especially younger ones. Letting you stop when you've made a move isn't just a polite gesture. Rise smiled and said. Jess nodded resolutely. Since Principal Ritz has given the order, even if someone does die, it's an uncontrollable factor in a legitimate competition, although he doesn't want anything to go wrong. He was once an elite warrior of the Dino Galaxy, and his dark energy had also made a breakthrough. If he were not careful, his strength could lead to an irreversible tragedy. Young man, let's start over. Jess's expression was solemn as he swung his massive warhammer with effortless ease, backed by a strength unimaginable to others. The warhammer emitted a blue halo. What appeared before everyone's eyes was a ferocious beast with fangs, its eyes sharpening and its aura suddenly changing. Jess's warhammer came crashing down with overwhelming force. Boom! A deafening roar, and visible shockwaves rippled outwards in all directions. The air is tearing apart. Flesh and blood? Absolutely unstoppable. Miss was shocked as she watched from the sidelines. She wanted to intervene but was stopped by Principal Rise. Trust Jess. Rise trusted his instructor implicitly, and besides, Jace's control over his strength was absolutely superior to everyone else's. If Lin Yan thought Rise was just a reckless brute, he would be sorely mistaken. But, in an instant, Jess's vision went completely black, and fear surged through him like a raging flood. His strength increased, like a wounded beast making its last stand. His eyes were bloodshot. Not good. Miss almost cried out in surprise. Why did Jess attack with such force? If it was that kind of force, even if Lin Yan had strong mental strength, his physical body would be crushed. Advertisement. Thud. A dull, powerful impact. It seems like I still have some strength. I guess. Lin Yan seemed to be searching for words in a thoughtful manner, thinking that one should always be more tactful in life. Jess was panting heavily, as if he had just come to his senses. He stared in astonishment at the falling warhammer, as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over his head. A cool sensation spread through my body and mind. That enormous warhammer. And a finger. They collided. That's right. Lin Yan simply extended a finger and blocked the warhammer of the god of war of the Divine River civilization without moving an inch. The strength is still acceptable. Reluctantly. However, it felt a bit like something that was neither satisfying nor worth discarding, since Lin Yan had never tested how strong he really was and was looking forward to doing so. Lin Yan sighed. Not satisfied. This. Rise's smile froze, he felt a chill run down his spine from his bald head. It's a ghost. How could that be? That was Rise's strongest warrior, and Jace clearly hadn't held back. The veins on his arms bulged, his face flushed red, and his eyes were filled with a bloodthirsty murderous aura. But it couldn't withstand even a single little finger from the other party. Jess is a third-generation super soldier. Although he can be destroyed by flame-class weapons and severely injured by God Killer 1, he is immune to large-caliber thermal weapons. Moreover, he is only dealing with a human from Earth, despite that human possessing exceptional mental strength. But at this moment, Rise had seen all sorts of grand scenes, but he was still deeply impressed. That warhammer could destroy any material aspect of Earth's civilization. Under its immense destructive power, nothing could escape but being reduced to dust. A fierce glint flashed in Rise's eyes. What a disgrace it is that his strongest warrior has been defeated. Lin Yan, only defending and not attacking is disrespectful to the opponent. Go all out. With me, Rise, here, this building is definitely more solid than the training ground with its special protective layer. Bring it on. Jess was covered in a cold sweat. Yet, he was also filled with excitement, it was the first time he had ever felt such a terrifying and intimidating power. But even when faced with the threat of death, he, Jess, will fight to the very end. Chapter 15. Even when faced with the threat of death, he, Jess, will fight to the very end. Mrs. Beautiful eyes widened as she stared in disbelief at the energy Lin Yan released. It was definitely a fluctuation of dark energy, visible to the naked eye. How terrifying! Rise noticed it too. Dark energy is a type of energy that drives the movement of the universe. Dark matter is not the same as dark energy. They do not absorb, reflect, or radiate light, so humans on Earth in the past were unable to discover and utilize dark energy. The use of dark matter is no longer a hypothesis. For example, dark matter computers can be used to extract dark iron elements and then create dark metal armor. On the other hand, dark energy compression has been proposed in the field of cutting-edge technology and has been achieved on a small scale. That's impossible. Jess's Warhammer can also be considered a dark energy weapon. Without the power of dark energy, it could not possibly possess such astonishing destructive power and offensive capabilities. Lin Yan's grand gesture. That's appalling. A warrior must always give it his all. One more time, Jess. Rise's tone was different from at the beginning. He gave Jace the strictest order. Success was the only option, failure was not an option. Lin Yan smiled. Jess, however, felt that smile was an absolute provocation. His thick eyebrows were furrowed, his sharp eyes were fixed on his prey, and all the muscles in his body instantly went into battle mode, his big iron hammer gleaming with power. Zhang! The blue light from the great hammer grew increasingly blinding, and its energy surged rapidly. The deafening noise pierced my eardrums. Even the walls developed cracks, a sign that they were about to collapse as they could not withstand the powerful shockwave. The cracks spread like a spider web. Lin Yan didn't wait for Jess to build up his momentum to its peak, or rather, he was too lazy to wait any longer. His two fingers, which were originally outstretched, curled up slightly. One of the best. One shot. Boom. Under the terrifying, suffocating wind pressure, the Warhammer, powerful enough to withstand a nuclear attack, emitted an unsettling cracking sound. Jess lowered his head deeply, his muscles twitching incessantly. The powerful force made him feel as if someone had lifted a massive spaceship and slammed it onto him. He roared to the sky. His eyes were bloodshot, and his eyeballs looked like they were about to pop out. Jess's mouth was full of blood as he roared, "Is that all the strength you've got?" He was sent flying backwards completely out of control. A violent force surged through his body like a torrent, causing his bones to feel almost broken and his vision to shift wildly. Then, with a loud bang, Jess shot through the wall like a cannonball and crashed into a building in the distance, much to everyone's astonishment. The shield deployed by Rise and Miss was easily shattered, and Jace had already fallen unconscious. I sent someone to take him to the emergency room. Advertisement. He shouldn't die. Rise was so shocked he could barely speak, even uttering this sentence was a struggle. Even more frightening is, the moment Miss stepped out, the great hammer finally gave way, cracks spreading to every corner before it shattered instantly. The great hammer is gone. The god of war of the Divine River civilization. Utterly crush them. Let's go too. Lin Yan said. Looking out from the broken wall, the scenery is not bad. The sound of cracking walls continued to echo. Principal Rise smiled helplessly and followed Lin Yan out of the building. Boom. The office building was completely destroyed. Just a few incense sticks ago, he boasted that this place was even more fortified than the training grounds with special protective layers. Not only Jace, but Rise also lost. Perhaps it's time to step down from the stage of history and hand over the future of the planet to the younger generation. The old Huxia saying is true: the student surpasses the teacher. No. Rise felt a chill run down his spine, and was horrified. Lin Yan is definitely not a descendant of the blue, he is from a civilization even more ancient than the Shenhe civilization that descended to Earth. Whether in terms of wisdom, physique, or energy utilization, he is at the pinnacle of the universe. Even if it isn't now, it certainly will be in the near future. The lion is always awakening little by little. This building is old, no, it's been there for decades. It's time to rebuild it. Rise looked incredibly embarrassed, as if he had been slapped in the face. Overwhelming strength. He felt as if he had been trampled underfoot and ravaged. This ancient deity. It's a mystery. Perhaps they can't solve it, we can only wait and see if there's anyone in this vast universe who has the ability to unravel this mystery. A person flashed through Rise's mind. Maybe. Only Death God Karl. Lin Yan was also somewhat satisfied. This planetary-level dark energy completely overwhelmed the third-generation super soldiers, and the third-generation divine body still needed further verification. As for the fourth-generation bodies, such as Divine Keisha and Morgana. No rush. Take your time. Many people heard the commotion and came over, but were all turned away by Principal Rise. Lord Lin Yan. You've won. Rise's mind raced, and a bright smile spread across his face. I have another small request, I wonder if Lord Lin Yan would be so kind as to. Chapter 16. I have another small request, I wonder if Lord Lin Yan would be so kind as to. Rise is very well known and has a certain authority in the entire universe. He is even admired by the god of death, Karl. Moreover, this ancient monster was the first to feel the fear of the void, and can even feel the existence of the void in his dreams. Furthermore, Rise's blue skin and blue eyes are also a mystery. For someone as humble as him to address a naive 15-year-old boy as master is truly unprecedented. Miss also toned down her haughty demeanor. She looked at Lin Yan with sparkling eyes, even showing a hint of a little girl's admiration. Call me Lin Yan. He got goosebumps all over when an old man called him sir. However, his words were not a suggestion, but a command. His youthful spirit meant he wasn't a seasoned veteran who knew how to speak the truth, and his overwhelming strength gave him the right to speak. Lin Yan, we have a request for you. Rise's smile never faded. The principal's dignity prevented him from being subservient, and the temptation before him was too great. Rise was also weighing his options. Miss, go check if that big oaf Jerry is dead. Rise gave a signal, clearly intending to distract Miss and speak with Lin Yan alone. In other words, their conversation was confidential. Miss does not have permission to know the details. The sound of leather boots pounding the ground grew fainter and fainter, and Rise had given a strict order that no one was to approach within 500 meters of this place during this period. In a small garden, surrounded by lush greenery, the scenery is quite pleasant. I, Rise, swear in the name of the principal and to the ancestors of the Dino civilization, that I will ensure Comrade Kylan receives the best possible treatment. Furthermore, your 2-bedroom apartment will be replaced with a detached villa, and you will enjoy principal-level benefits. 3 meals a day are provided by the college. In addition, there is a subsidy of 100,000 Hyuxia yuan. 2 part-time workers will be assigned to clean and maintain the house. Rise said with a small face. Such treatment is absolutely unprecedented in the history of the Super God Academy. Even General Tokeo's daughter, Rose, did not receive such treatment. It even left them several streets behind. I don't need to cook 3 meals a day, my sister loves to cook. Okay, then let's use fresh ingredients. Comrade Kylan can specify the types of ingredients. Rise readily accepted Lin Yan's requests, driven by a single belief, the god before him was truly unprecedented and unparalleled. Offering unsolicited favors is like trying to hide something that's not there. This ancient monster must be plotting something in his heart. Lin Yan didn't mind at all and accepted everything. He was sure his sister would like it. Yes, thank you for your care, Principal. Moreover, Lin Yan was giving Rise some face. I know that Lord Lin Yan is accepting this small favor with great reluctance, how considerate. However, Rise has another request. He stood up, snapped his legs together, and assumed a perfect stance. Advertisement. Then, he lowered his head deeply. He bowed. Dino is about to be annihilated in the universe, but the sparks of our Dino civilization are still burning. As long as Lord Lin Yan is willing to lend a helping hand, I believe our Dino civilization will surely shine with its former glory once again. Tokyo commanded the god of war of Nostar to wield the god-slaying axe and hurled it at the distant sun star, splitting it in two. History cannot be reversed. Rise, as the god of war of the Divine River civilization, is powerless, and General Tokyo has also withdrawn, researching the Black Great Wall's Super Soldier Corps plan. And he was truly unwilling to accept it. In the vast universe today, the angelic civilization is more powerful than ever before, and Karl's Dowdy is about to invade Earth. The demon angel Morgana will create a large number of loyal servants, ugly demons. Where is the Dino civilization rooted? Rise beat his chest in frustration. She burst into tears. Do you want this 1,000-year-old war to continue? Lin Yan caught a glimpse of it. Rise felt his heart pounding violently before it suddenly stopped. His legs trembled, and he knelt down at Lin Yan's feet. I wouldn't dare. The Norsonic battle axe splits a planet using Hungsing energy, but if one person could control this energy, they could destroy a planet in a matter of minutes. Lin Yan, you can definitely do it. Rise knew very well that it was impossible to get help from this god. It's just a gamble. Lin Yan looked at Rise kneeling on the ground. You should get up and speak. Rise was filled with emotion. He sighed and resumed his usual ruthless demeanor. He stood solemnly in front of Lin Yan. This is out of respect for Lin Yan. We at Super God Academy know nothing about Qilin, especially about all your actions, but we've seen nothing. Rise said. This can only be described as a compromise. Even if we don't compromise, so what? In the end, it's still the strong who have the right to speak. Helping others is helping yourself, it's all about reciprocity. Rise paused. Suddenly I realized. Lin Yan will definitely step in when Rise or the Super God Academy are in trouble. That was his ultimate goal. Rise bowed deeply with respect. Thank you, Lord Lin Yan. Chapter 17. As promised to you, I have sent someone to bring Comrade Kylan to your villa. Let me take you there, Comrade Kylan must be getting impatient. Rise said politely. But then I thought about it again. I suddenly remembered I have some official business to attend to. How about Miss takes you there? Oh. Lin Yan nodded. Rise thought to himself, I'm an old monster who's been around for thousands of years, and I still have to try to be clever in front of this young man. But this young man is definitely not an ordinary one. It is something that should be respected. This way, please. Mrs. Graceful figure and elegant gait complemented her mature, poised, and gentle smile that radiated maternal warmth. She spoke each word softly and gently. Hidden among lush green plants, Lin Yan saw a detached villa with a white fence and even a small garden. A winding path leads to a secluded spot, where beautiful scenery greets you. Xiao Yan, you're here. Qilin also came over to greet them. Her gaze remained fixed on Lin Yan, and she gently patted her younger brother's shoulder. This wasn't just a villa, the location and seclusion were superb, practically a private little world, undisturbed by anyone. The other members all slept in the same dormitory. Sister, can you show me around? This will be our place to live from now on. Lin Yan smiled. He actually laughed. Miss, who was being ignored, could hardly believe it. Her beautiful eyes widened. She had thought that this boy would not show such a genuine smile. That glance was like a dream, like an illusion. Lin Yan's cold expression was already stunning. Lin Yan's smile almost made her heart leap out of her chest. Even the usually composed Qilin couldn't contain her excitement. The villa is incredibly luxurious, with the most precious building materials used in everything from the ceilings and walls to the floors, comparable to the gold of the earth in its heyday. The windows are floor-to-ceiling windows. It has excellent light transmission. What pleased Qilin the most was the kitchen. The spacious kitchen was fully equipped with all the cooking utensils and tableware, and even had an oven. The bathroom is spacious and features a full coverage heating system and an ultrasonic massage bathtub. In addition, it offers a full range of leisure and entertainment options. Behind the villa, there is a shooting range, which is small in scale but has all the necessary facilities. Qilin, you can contact me anytime if you have any questions. I will set up a private communication channel for you. The siblings were having a great time shopping, while Miss was left out in the cold. Even just looking at Lin Yan's happy profile made Miss feel content. However, she still wanted to attract Lin Yan's attention. Thank you, Miss. You've worked so hard. Advertisement. Qilin said with a smile. It's not hard work, it's just my duty. Miss implies that she received orders, referring, of course, to Principal Rise. Qilin is a smart girl with keen insight and judgment. She probably already knows that she has received special treatment since arriving at the Super God Academy. Then I'll take my leave. Miss also longed to be by Lin Yan's side. But this woman is no ordinary young girl, she understands tactics much better. There's still plenty of time. As she passed by Lin Yan, she whispered, Miss is on call 24/7, at your service. Qilin watched Miss gracefully leave before turning to Lin Yan. Xiao Yan, that Miss teacher is taking such good care of me, could it be that you used some kind of pretty boy trick? Qilin's insight is really strong, thanks to her professional habits and qualities. She may not seem to be looking at you, but actually her eyes are observing you all the time, and her gaze is practically burning with fire. Lin Yan was speechless. Sister, listen to me. You're 26. Why are you suddenly bringing up my age? Do you think I'm getting old? Qilin felt a pang of jealousy. No, listen to me, I'm 15 years old, and the two of us combined look over 40. Do you know how old Miss is? Lin Yan used his connections. Qilin pondered for a moment, that's true, a 30-year-old aunt with a teenager is indeed not a good match. A 30-year-old is called a young lady, but Miss is over 180 years old, in an urn. Lin Yan said casually. Qilin nearly popped her eyes out of their sockets. But thinking about it, it makes sense. Those aliens are probably all very old. Who knows, maybe Principal Rise is an ancient monster who's been around for thousands of years. No. My sister-in-law has to be young. Qilin thought about it for a moment. Actually, a few years difference doesn't matter, 6 or 7 years older is acceptable. Qilin's serious expression almost made Lin Yan burst out laughing. Are you in such a hurry to think about your younger brother's important life event? Don't you see how outstanding your younger brother is? He'll have plenty of choices when it comes to finding a wife. I'm afraid he'll be overwhelmed by the choices. Far away. Miss heard everything he said clearly, but she didn't know that Lin Yan had done it on purpose. If he didn't reveal his weakness, no one in the world would ever hear a single word he said. There's nothing Miss can't do. Miss straightened her back. Chapter 18. Inside the villa. Finally all packed up. Qilin stretched out her arms. Although it was called tidying up the room, it was really just putting away luggage, clothes, and personal items in their proper places, but the villa was just too big. I'm going to take a shower first. If you're bored, you can go for a walk, but don't go too far. Qilin said to Lin Yan affectionately, young people are still very curious, and I also want to take a nice bath to relax. Lin Yan didn't dislike the quiet night. Is there something you need, miss? Lin Yan didn't even look in that direction, a beautiful figure flashed past in his peripheral vision. Miss was slightly taken aback, then smiled brightly, exuding a touch of feminine intellectual beauty. Wearing a black miniskirt and showcasing her feminine figure, Miss, a teacher who dresses impeccably in her private life, exudes a mature and gentle charm. This is the most popular queen in Super God Academy. It was discovered so quickly. Miss didn't seem embarrassed at all, and still had a warm, sunny smile on her face. You and your sister truly have a deep sibling bond. In such chaotic times, family ties are undoubtedly the most reassuring harbor and comfort. It's just a pity I have no brothers or sisters. Her beautiful eyes were filled with loneliness. To outsiders, Miss is a gentle, mature, and composed older sister. But deep down, Miss still longed for family affection. She had never experienced that feeling before. Every time she saw families gathered together under the lights, with loving couples in harmonious sibling relationships, she felt a surge of emotion. Beneath her strong exterior lies a soft heart. I really envy your Hyuxia civilization on Earth. I long for a home and a brother or sister. Lin Yan remained silent. Miss slowly revealed her true feelings. Can you walk with me for a bit? Miss said with a dejected expression. Just a little while. Lin Yan did not refuse, but simply nodded silently. Under the cover of night, the two walked side by side. As the leaves of the plane trees fell, Miss reached out and caught one, her tenderness like that of a mother caring for her child. Occasionally, students passing by would look at this scene with envy. At that moment, Teacher Miss looked so serene and gentle, especially bathed in pure sunlight. With so many people in the Super God Academy, if you randomly pick one to be your younger brother or sister, I don't think anyone would refuse. Lin Yan said. It's hard to tell how much of it is true and how much is false. Miss shook her head. She was the dream goddess of countless students, but how many of them treated her like real family? Not a single person was present. What they see is depravity and desire. But in Lin Yan's pure blue eyes, he saw a pure world. All I want is family affection, but they can't give me that. Lin Yan smiled lazily. It's a pity I have an older sister. Miss chuckled softly. There's no such thing as too many brothers and sisters. Hyuxia civilization also values the concept of a large family. This woman is truly eloquent. Advertisement. Lin Yan stopped talking and walked forward in silence, while Miss followed behind him like a well-behaved girl. Dance to tune. As Miss watched Lin Yan's retreating figure, she knew there would never be another Lin Yan in this universe. He was like a magnet, drawing her gaze in. She quickened her pace and reached out to touch the short, azure hair. But Lin Yan turned around instantly. Mrs. Fingertips touched Lin Yan's cheek, and she quickly withdrew them. Excuse me, I saw a leaf stuck in your hair. Besides? Lin Yan asked. Miss even felt her cheeks warm up a little. He didn't call her out on it, he was being so gentle. He quickly waved his hand. It's already been blown away by the wind. This was the first time Miss had ever lied in such a moving way. She was immersed in this sentimental moment when she heard the sound of military boots clattering in the distance behind her. Da-da-da. Powerful and regular. He doesn't seem like a typical student. Super God Academy is under military-style management. It's time for time control. Don't wander around outside. With her long, wine-red hair and sharp eyes that always gleamed with the decisiveness of a soldier, she spoke coldly, still wearing the same form-fitting uniform. Cough cough. Miss coughed a few times. What's with Du Qiangwei? She's a grown woman standing right here. Rose glanced sideways with her beautiful eyes. Only then did I see Miss, and I was slightly taken aback, wondering why I had completely ignored her. Could it be because of this? Rose's heart skipped a beat. Right. She did indeed overlook Miss, much like how you might overlook a small incandescent light bulb under the scorching sun. Lin Yan was the blazing sun that she focused on, while Miss was the inconspicuous incandescent light bulb. Lin Yan is not familiar with the academy's environment. I'll show him around. It doesn't seem to violate any academy rules, does it? And Principal Rise also gave specific instructions. Miss brought up Principal Rise, knowing full well that Rose was Tokeo's daughter, not a second-generation rich kid that just anyone could offend. She also did not want to be enemies with Tokeo. But if she goes too far. Besides, I treat Lin Yan like my own brother, and I'm like his older sister. It's only right that I take care of him. Miss said firmly. Elder sister. Rose just smiled and glanced at Miss, then turned her gaze back to Lin Yan. Since we'll be working at the academy from now on, then you can be considered my comrade's family member. Goodbye, Miss Teacher. That's all. He turned and left. Ding. New check-in task being released. The system's voice suddenly rang in his mind, and Lin Yan was also curious about what the task was. Please arrive at Lo Guangfu Street in Tianhe City within 10 minutes today to check in. The coordinates are. You must not move the coordinates during the journey, otherwise it will be considered a failure. Successful check-in will earn you a reward. The coordinates must not be moved. That is, it remains completely still. Who knows, a nuclear bomb might just fly in at that moment. Chapter 19. Miss was even somewhat incoherent. She had only been unable to say those words due to a moment of impulse, and she was a little intimidated by Lin Yan. How do you explain this? Where are they? But when Miss turned around, she found that Lin Yan had already disappeared. She breathed a deep sigh of relief. A weight was lifted from my shoulders, but I also felt a little disappointed. Mrs. tightly furrowed brows relaxed slightly. There are still plenty of opportunities. He hasn't explicitly refused, has he? Maybe we can really have another younger brother. Lin Yan not only disappeared, but also arrived in another place. Tianhe City, Guangfu Street. The invasion of alien gluttons and demons is no longer news, but Guangfu Street is far from the sky black hole. Moreover, this is the most bustling street in Tianhe City, with the most complete shopping, leisure, and public facilities, attracting a lot of people. Guangfu Street is now very lively. Lin Yan immediately attracted a lot of attention. That guy is so handsome. What a handsome young man. Absolutely stunning. Some women with budding romantic feelings turned their gazes toward Lin Yan. He slightly opened his mental network, which instantly covered everything. Those people seemed to be ignoring Lin Yan. Certainly. This is almost the smallest possible amount of cardiac network. If the intensity is too high, pedestrians on the street will faint one by one. People with poor physical condition may die suddenly, or even cause a larger-scale death toll. This is a shopping street. The coordinates in Lin Yan's mind guided him to the correct location, where there happened to be a bench. He sat down. Ding! Host detected to have arrived at the designated coordinates. Time is accurate. Check-in begins. Please do not leave this coordinate during the check-in period. Otherwise, check-in will be considered a failure. Check-in begins, 10 minutes countdown. Lin Yan squinted slightly as he looked around. There seemed to be no movement. Blue sky, white clouds, bustling traffic, a scene of great prosperity, except for the persistent young policeman following him. Countdown, 4 minutes 39 seconds. Countdown, 4 minutes 39 seconds. Boom! A loud bang was heard in the street. An object fell from the sky onto the street, and the people on the street were so frightened that they immediately scattered and fled. Aliens! Run! Advertisement! IFG saw aliens. It's alive. They sent so much food. It was a massive monster, its body covered in crimson scales and clad in a set of dark armor. Its strong tail and ferocious fangs clearly indicated its carnivorous nature. The head is shaped like a crocodile. He stood up but staggered a little. He sat on the ground, panting heavily. Rest for a bit. Ugh, I'm exhausted. People gathered around the humanoid crocodile from a distance. Someone shouted, "This guy fell from a great height and he's still alive. Is that skin made of steel?" The location of Crocodile God Thornton has been traced. Launch the capture operation immediately. At this time, a sudden sound rang out, and the Crocodile God Soton looked around, his fangs still stained with blood. Who called me? That fairy sister. Let me rest for a bit. The people on the street were completely unaware of the black aircraft speeding towards them. Whoosh! A blinding laser beam shot out, striking the Crocodile God Soton directly in the head, instantly knocking his powerful body to the ground. Black aircraft continued to streak across the sky, their blinding lasers sweeping wildly. The onlookers fled in panic. Screams filled the streets. Crocodile God Soton. Lin Yan didn't have a good impression of this crocodile-headed humanoid crocodile, especially since its simple-minded and silly behavior made it seem like a simpleton. Good. It's decided, this will be called Lang-E, two-stunned crocodile. Crocodile God Thornton is the third-generation super soldier created on Earth by Death God Karl after he deciphered the super genetic code of certain civilizations. Their combat power is formidable, and their prototype is a giant crocodile, indicating that their origin is neither the Divine River civilization, nor the Angel civilization, nor even the Dark Nebula. Their combat power may eventually surpass that of the war god of Noxing. It was once sealed away. But he has now woken up. It is currently in a weak state. The purpose of those dowdy flying vehicles was to capture the crocodile god Soton and offer him to Morgana, who was recruiting soldiers everywhere. The essence of dowdy is invasion and slaughter. Insignificant human beings. The crocodile god Thornton is in a weakened state. As for those humans, wipe them all out. A policeman, his hands trembling, raised his gun and aimed it at the aircraft. Bang bang bang! Ha ha ha, he actually used Earth's weapons to shoot at our dowdy's warships, that's hilarious. You call that weapon something that can't even pierce my butt? Ha 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 ha. The gluttonous beast grinned maliciously. No one on this street will escape. Chapter 20. Get out of here immediately. Citizen, please leave this danger zone. The other citizens fled in panic. Only a few scattered people remained on the bustling streets, fleeing into the distance. The policeman's body trembled slightly, but he resolutely stood in front of Lin Yan, using his thin but brave body to block the dowdy's attack. These firearms are useless against the dowdy. Lin Yan stretched. Please leave here quickly, I'm stalling these aliens. The police remained resolute. Swoosh! A dazzling ray of light shot out. The policeman closed his eyes, but his gun was still pointed at the dowdy's flying machine. The expected bullet piercing the body did not occur. The most astonished were the dowdy, who watched helplessly as the bullet hovered in mid-air. It was as if I had entered a still space. They all stared at the scene in disbelief. The bullets stopped. What's going on? It seems we're being blocked. Dark energy fluctuations. Dark energy fluctuations detected. On Earth, only the Norse civilization possesses this technology. Prepare to attack. Attack. The situation took a sharp turn for the worse. The arrogant dowdy was on high alert. Their mad arrogance was instantly enraged. On Earth, their gluttonous legion was unstoppable, even against Dokeana of the Dino civilization. The dowdy legion sweeps away everything. In an instant, the halted bullets changed direction and shot towards the dowdy legion's aircraft. Inside the cockpit, the dowdy stared wide-eyed at the incoming beam of light. The blinding white light and the powerful shockwave confirmed their imminent demise. Boom! The explosion resounded in mid-air. The spaceship has been attacked and some functions have been lost. Please repair it. It was blown up by its own shell. What AFG coward? What to do? A doughty soldier inquired. The squad leader waved his arm and shouted, "Damn it, retreat! We can't fight anymore." But as the spaceship prepared to escape, it suddenly collided with something, causing it to shake violently. The scene was akin to being grabbed and swayed from side to side. "We've lost control of the spaceship." Bang! 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 Advertisement. The incredibly tough doughty flying machine had dents and pits all over its outer shell. And the doughty creatures had no idea who had attacked them. Unable to attack, and unable to escape. The doughty's several spaceships were completely trapped. The astonished onlookers in the distance. The panting Crocodile Thornton. No one understood what was happening. It seemed the spaceship was being attacked by an unknown force. No, it was more like it was being toyed with. Who said Earth was a pre-nuclear civilization? This is absolutely God-level power. We're doomed. We're doomed. The usually valiant doughty warriors were drenched in sweat. This was something that far surpassed Earth's civilization, surpassed the Dino civilization, and even surpassed their leader. Beyond that, there are higher levels that doughty cannot fathom. The only thing that could be foreseen was the approach of death. The sounds of BG and squeezing kept coming. The dented spaceship resembled a flattened sphere, or a twisted rope. Lin Yan weighed the small stone in his hand. Even Saitama's punch wouldn't have produced such power. Blessed by planetary-level dark energy. There's also hard net. This is not war, this is God's judgment. Let's end this. Lin Yan smiled and exerted his strength. Boom! Like fireworks exploding in the sky, a spaceship was completely destroyed and turned into dust. Our mighty doughty legion will surely come forth one after another. You have the courage to destroy my god Karl's vanguard of doughty. Arguing won't work. In fact, the doughty were already terrified and their minds were about to break. Was this a pre-nuclear civilization? He didn't even know who killed him. No, suddenly the doughty remembered the advanced team ship that had recently exploded inexplicably. One by one, they showed expressions of horror. It was him. That Earth God. They have angered the gods. This is not an attack by humans, but divine retribution. Boom! Another explosion rang out. People in the distance watched as the doughty's spaceships exploded one after another, and many people raised their phones in a daze to record this astonishing scene. One after another, the gluttonous flying machines that invaded Earth, those powerful evil invasions derived from them, exploded in the sky like fireworks and then turned into nothingness. General Leanfang watched the destroyed doughty flying machine from afar. It was clearly not destroyed by Earth's weapons. Who could have done it? Protecting the Earth. A storm raged within her. She felt as if the world had completely changed. Chief Ducko, I have made a major discovery. Chapter 21. So easily they destroyed the doughty legion's aircraft. Leanfang was dressed in casual clothes, but even so, her heroic figure could not be concealed. Her beautiful eyes shone brightly as she stared into the distance. Ever since the doughty appeared on Earth, she had been paying attention to their movements. Doughty originated from the Styx civilization, and its leader was Shizu, the supreme commander of the Styx civilization. The Styx civilization was established by the god of death, Karl, and its fighting army was trained to serve Karl. They never revealed their location and slowly developed under the protection of the Dark Nebula, to the point that the entire legion was filled with militarism and aggression. The doughty King Shizu is not a super soldier under the super gene, so it does not have super abilities. They prefer to use equipment to fight. Even so, eliminating a squad consisting of 3 doughty flying machines is no easy feat for ordinary people. Currently, the only thing on Earth capable of resisting the invasion of the doughty is the Super God Academy. So, Is this god who protects the earth the first to defeat the vanguard of the invading Daudi? I'll go and investigate this myself. General Leanfang said. The communication was disconnected. Tokyo also paid close attention to this, believing that it might be a super gene warrior left behind by a civilization that was missed in the system's records, perhaps even surpassing the power of the galaxy. Tokyo also agreed that General Leanfang should go in person, and he was very much looking forward to this investigation. Leanfang arrived at the scene as quickly as possible. That's special effects. Holy crap, who would believe it if they hadn't seen it with their own eyes? If you ask me, those aliens deserved it. They must have angered our Hyuxia gods. Those who were still shaken were whispering among themselves. Leanfang saw the astonishing scene from afar. The Daudi Legion's aircraft were less like they were shot down and more like crushed eggshells. Not only her, but everyone in the vicinity of Tianhe City witnessed this bizarre scene. But the scene was empty. Not even a trace was left, but Leanfang has a technology that ordinary people do not have. She can detect the energy left in the atmosphere. Suspicious substance detected. Analysis in progress. Dark energy detected. Dark energy? Moreover, the detected values are constantly rising. This is a massive amount of dark energy, enough to destroy any Daudi fleet. If it is not controlled properly, the entire Tianhe city will be reduced to ashes. This sent a chill down her spine. She didn't know who had manipulated the dark energy to thwart the Daudi's attack, but she also held that person in high esteem, grateful for saving the lives of the people of Tianhe city. However, she had a duty to fulfill and needed to find out who this person with terrifying power was as soon as possible. Her brows furrowed even deeper. Advertisement. The detection instrument in his hand emitted a frantic beep 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 sound before completely malfunctioning, emitting a wisp of blue smoke. Wrong. Suddenly, she realized something. The person who destroyed the Daudi flying machine with a flick of their finger is still at the scene, or rather, still within the detection range. Where exactly is it? Leanfeng's gaze swept across the surroundings like a radar. Was it that burly middle-aged man, that sleazy thug, or that female office worker carrying a high-quality counterfeit LV bag? No. Neither of them are. A figure swept past Leanfang out of the corner of her eye. It was a young boy, and in that fleeting glance, the whole world seemed to change color. Those deep blue eyes were something Leanfang had never seen before, and that look in his eyes too. Neither sad nor happy, neither angry nor sorrowful. Compared to the onlookers who were either panicked, wide-eyed, or excited, only the boy wearing the hat remained as steady as a mountain. Ding! Congratulations, host, for completing the designated task and receiving the reward, Super Gene Code, and one weapon and armor exchange opportunity. You can exchange for any weapon and a set of armor. A powerful force once again coursed through my limbs and bones, but this time, although it was just as intensely hot, I felt no pain whatsoever. This is probably the qualitative change that has occurred in the body. But what are the other super gene codes? Many brilliant minds, through continued research, have discovered that the genetic code is ultimately nothing more than a conceptual data set. Although this data volume is enormous, it can be recorded, saved, and recreated. The Holy Queen Keisha of the Angel Civilization was the first to comprehend the super genetic code and applied it to a small number of angel warriors and herself. This is the ultimate eternity. The code can be scattered anywhere in the universe, and it can be regenerated as long as there is an equivalent amount of energy and matter. However, this is the ultimate secret of civilization. Neither Keisha nor anyone from the angel race has ever publicly revealed this technology. In other words, the outside world does not know the origin of the angel's so-called eternity. Similarly, Karl and Kiran deciphered this technology early on, but Kiran was actually slower and could only apply the highest level of technology to the three gods. Karl, however, did much more research. I didn't expect it to be such a good thing. Lin Yan smiled. He also noticed a beautiful figure in the distance, whose eyes were fixed on him. He stopped, turned halfway around, and calmly asked in a low voice, "Is there something you need from me?" Chapter 22. Did you need something? Lin Yan's actions startled the beautiful figure following him. Leanfang was surprised by the young man's keen insight. With her tracking abilities, it would be impossible for an ordinary person to detect her. In the shadows, Leanfang slowly walked out. Whether it's her shapely figure or her stunning posture, she stands out from the crowd even in casual clothes. Her beautiful eyes furrowed slightly as she spoke with pity for the wind. "How did you find me?" The only thing Lin Yan hadn't anticipated was that Leanfang, the staff officer of the Super Soldier Corps and acting commander of the Black Great Wall, would appear at the scene. People of this caliber generally don't show their faces easily. Unless she finds something interesting enough to capture her attention. For example, an incomprehensible force. For Lin Yan, it doesn't matter whether it's Dowdy or the Grim Reaper Karl behind it, or the demon and the Demon Queen Morgana behind it, or the angel who advocates justice and order. He wasn't interested at all. They have no desire to participate in these wars. Once his abilities are discovered by some force, he will certainly not continue living a mundane life as he does now, which is something he does not want to see. "This is my identification. Please cooperate with the investigation." Leanfang revealed her identity. She is indeed a decisive and efficient woman. When faced with suspicious points, she will take action immediately. She is a woman of action. Is it something you soldiers should do to follow a boy who is almost 15 years old in the middle of the night? It seems, boys also need to be careful to protect themselves. Lin Yan joked. Leanfang, after all, was a man of the world and would not blush with embarrassment at the teasing of a young boy. She remained calm. It would be abnormal for a 15-year-old student to be wandering around late at night, especially in such a chaotic and dangerous scene, where you were the only one who didn't run away. Who exactly are you? Demons? Angels? Or other civilizations in the universe unknown to us? Leanfang observed Lin Yan closely, accurately capturing and quickly analyzing everything from his appearance and behavior to subtle details. Especially since the detector was damaged, she could only rely on her accumulated experience to make judgments. The demons are an invading force that must be eradicated. The angels are open to discussion, or rather, they can cooperate for the time being. As for unknown civilizations, those are the most dangerous. Due to limited knowledge and lack of information, it is difficult to formulate effective coping strategies. Leanfeng's face was cold and stern. "I am just a minor who dropped out of school because I couldn't afford to go to school. My parents died in a car accident, and even the compensation money was divided up by other relatives." Advertisement. Lin Yan spoke of these matters with such indifference that it seemed as if they were none of his business. Even Leanfang, who always kept public and private matters separate, couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy upon seeing Lin Yan's expression, though it was only for a moment. "If you think I'm lying, you can investigate. You have that authority, don't you? If there's nothing else, I'll be going now." Lin Yan walked straight ahead. "Did you damage the Dowdy's flying machine? If so, we are not enemies." Leanfang laid her cards on the table. To be honest, without concrete evidence, she had no right to arrest or restrict the personal freedom of the boy in front of her. "If we don't go back soon, my sister will scold us." "It must be him." Leanfang frowned even more deeply. "It's definitely him." Lin Yan also noticed Leanfeng's aggressive gaze. Just then, his phone rang. "Sis, didn't I tell you? I'm going out to buy something. I bought something and walked all the way to Guangfu Street. I'm almost there. I'll come pick you up." Qilin spotted Lin Yan in the crowd at a glance. "I see you." She secretly tampered with Lin Yan's clothes, planting a small tracking device inside. Lin Yan knew about it, but didn't expose her. This is my sister's love. He accepted it completely. However, Qilin suddenly caught a glimpse of a monster plummeting from the sky out of the corner of her eye. She slammed on the brakes and shouted hoarsely, "Xiao Yan, watch out behind you! Steamed buns! Steamed buns! I want to eat steamed buns!" The crocodile god Sotan became even more excited as he watched the terrified people flee. He leaped up and landed not far from Lin Yan. Leanfang and Qilin saw Suotan at the same time and reacted simultaneously. "It smells so good!" Crocodile god Sotan discovered Lin Yan. The aroma emanating from him made his mouth water. This steamed bun smelled better than any of the male, female, or small steamed buns. In his eyes, all humans were like steamed buns, but the one in front of him was the most tempting. Bang! Just as crocodile god Sotan was about to attack Lin Yan, he was suddenly shot in the head. That wretched little steamed bun! The crocodile god Sotan, with its ferocious fangs drooling, was extremely excited. "Then I'll eat you first, you little steamed bun." Chapter 23. Xiao Yan, hold him off while you run away. Don't worry about me, someone will come to our aid soon. Boom! Qilin nimbly dodged the first attack. The crocodile god Sotan appeared ferocious, but he was in a weakened state, and his movements were